Hey everyone, back for another movie review. This is going to be the third movie in this series, but it is also a prequel. Let's talk about Matthew Vaughn's The Kingsman. Like I said, The Kingsman is a prequel to The Kingsman. There are two of them. I never saw the first one. I did see the second one. Apparently I'm in the minority that enjoyed that movie. But this prequel takes place more or less during World War I, where we have Ralph Fiennes' character, who is more or less a pacifist. And he has a son who really wants to enlist into the war. The war happens, and this is an origin story for how the Kingsman started, and how this whole network of spies and how this underground agency started. I really enjoyed this movie. It is wildly imaginative. It is really fun. I did like the characters, despite the fact that there's not a whole lot of depth, especially to the main characters. Ralph Fiennes is really good in this movie, as he has to play a gentleman and also a badass in this movie at the same time. And he pulls it off very well. This is, I know Matthew Vaughn he directed the two Kick-Ass movies, which I like, the first one more than the second. Obviously, the two Kingsman movie. He also did the very underrated X-Men First Class, which was a really good movie. And he knows how to shoot his action scenes. The action scenes in this movie are spectacular. They're a lot of fun. After seeing the choppiness of The Matrix Revelations, and then also to see the CGI splooge fest that was Spider-Man Far From Home, or No Way Home, I still can't get that name right. It is so fun to see real people fighting each other. And holy smokes, it is shot really well and choreographed even better. There are a lot of fight scenes that I like. There's the fight scene with Rasputin. Even the last fight scene is really well done. This is a story about how someone is trying to stop fighting, but keeps getting into fights. So it is a little bit of a contradictory, but it is a lot of fun, in all honesty. I never exactly knew which way the movie was going. The supporting cast is really well done. There's a character named Molly who she's more of a espionage agent. At the end, we find out she's a sniper. We also have that guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's in this movie and he's really fun. Ralph Fiennes' son in this movie brings a lot of depth to his character, as Ralph Fiennes really does not want war. And there's this whole subplot about how they're trying to get Russia out of World War I. Meanwhile, this other group of people are trying to get the U.S. into World War I to help England. And I actually learned a couple of things about this. Like, I didn't know that the people in charge during World War I, the Prime Minister of England, the Tsar of Russia, and in charge of Germany, were actually all cousins. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And they actually use that a lot to get people to move around. I will say this, Rasputin steals the scene anytime he's in it, and he's a lot of fun. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the movie, I really did like this, the movie turned into 1917, and it is well shot. This movie is a well shot movie. Like, that whole 1917 portion was wonderful. And it actually ended in a very surprising way. One of the weaker notes of this movie is the main villain, though. Yeah, when he shows up, they try to cover his face. They either shoot him from the back, or when you see him when they're shooting him, he's in darkness so you don't see his face, i.e. Dr. Claw. Or when he's in the light, he's usually wearing some type of mask, but for a particular reason. And when he's finally revealed, it was kind of a letdown. Matter of fact, I had no idea who he was. And then they had to, luckily they do what most movies do, is they show you who they were during the movie, and I go, oh, that guy, I kind of remember him. But this movie's a hell of a lot of fun with great action. I really found myself invested in the story, especially the story between Ralph Fiennes' character and his son Connor. Action scenes, brilliant. And I did like the intrigue of like all this espionage stuff that was going on. Yeah, I highly recommend this movie. I'm going to give The Kingsman an 8.3. Loads of fun. I was really shocked and floored by how much I love this movie. Anyway, this will be my last, most likely, review for the year. It's been a lot of fun. Let's see 2022 brings us. Until next time, bye.